Do you know what cap and trade is? If not, you may soon be hearing a lot about it. It's a new plan going through Congress right now, and it's supported by the Obama administration. The end result, your electricity rates could be going up substantially. Artie Rose is the president of Solar Alliance of San Diego. Artie, good morning. As always, good to see you.
Good morning, Greg. Thank you very much for inviting me back.
You are very welcome. Tell us what cap and trade is. And, you know, this is something a lot of people haven't heard a lot about, but we're going to be hearing a lot about it soon.
Yeah, basically what it is, Greg, and I don't really have an opinion either way. It's just what's going through the Congress and the Senate right now. It's a way where basically cap and trade is an energy tax. And the utility companies are going to be taxed by the government, both the federal and the state government, for the emissions that they put into the atmosphere.
And the president recently spoke about cap and trade. And, excuse me, we have some of what he said. And we want you to listen carefully to what he had to say.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
Interesting. It's an interesting way of putting it, and we don't want to get into the politics, but would necessarily skyrocket. So basically saying that our electricity rates would skyrocket because of this tax that they're putting on companies like SDG&E or PG&E up north.
Obviously, Greg, if they're going to be taxing the utility companies have to make the money back one way or another. My personal opinion is they're going to pass it on to the consumers, but I really was curious, what does skyrocketing mean? I mean, I can understand a minimal increase, I can understand a small increase, and one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about this today was the average homeowner who's sitting there with maybe a $100, $150 utility bill and is comfortable. It's kind of like we were comfortable with $2 a gallon gasoline. You know, back about 5, 6 years ago, Greg, there were tax credits, incentives for homeowners, not homeowners, but people that bought hybrid cars. You might remember that. And you could get a carpool sticker if you bought a hybrid. You could also get a major tax credit. Well, when gasoline hit $4 a gallon a couple of years ago, the tax credits, all the incentives were gone. Currently, and again, I'm not sure why, maybe some of the viewers would know why is the government offering these tremendous incentives for homeowners to move towards solar?
Yeah, and we've been talking about those incentives. It's basically, it's up to 50%. They pay up to 50% state and federal incentives for a new solar system.
Well, currently, you know, right now is a very, very unique time. Before February of last year, the government limited the amount of money they would help you towards a solar system to $2,000. Currently, they're paying 30% regardless of what the cost is. And obviously, as the viewers can see, the California Solar Initiative is something where the state will pay up to 20% of the cost of the system.
But you say part of the state portion is going away.
Unfortunately, Greg, the more people put solar on their home, the amount of monies that are available, and what most people don't realize, Greg, is the fact that when you put a solar system on your home, the California Solar Initiative writes you a check. Within 30 to 45 days of the installation, you can actually receive a check in the mail from the California Solar Initiative. Okay,
so we hear about, you know, these rebate programs, hear about cap and trade, that, you know, our electricity rates could necessarily skyrocket. You know, you hear this all the time. Artie, I'd love to go solar, but I just can't afford it.
Right. One of the biggest obstacles for most homeowners is the initial investment. We have a program that's exclusive to Solar Alliance of San Diego. It's called the Solar Stimulus Program. And if people qualify for it, number one, and this is most important, there's no down payment. We actually come out, furnish the systems, put them on people's roofs, and from day one, their meter spins backward. Number two, there are no monthly payments. So as you're receiving your savings on your utility bill, you're not making any payments, and most importantly, there is no interest for a full 12 months.
And no monthly payments for how long?
12 months.
For 12 months, for a full year.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, again, there's no down payment, and within 30 days, the state is sending you a check. As a matter of fact, for a very limited time, we actually have what we call an instant rebate program. So not only don't the people have to put a down payment down, a few days after the installation, we actually give them a check for $1,200 as basically an instant rebate.
And you have a great offer today for our viewers. And we've been doing this. Your phones have been ringing off the hook. You can get a free $25 gift card just for calling Artie for a free 15 to 20-minute energy bill evaluation. He'll take a look at your bill, tell you if you're a candidate, if your bill's $150, $175 or more. Just call before noon today. That's all you have to do. You've got about, almost 3 hours to go. 619-528-2277, or just go on the website. There you see it, solaralliancesd.com. Artie, thank you so much, and for telling us that the electricity rates, would necessarily be skyrocketing.
Right. Thanks for your time, Greg.
Appreciate it. And of course, more information, just go to our website, san diego6.com.